Hey, Alex, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm pretty good. A little nervous,
Outstanding.
but, you know.
Don't be nervous. Hey, we had our third caller dropped, and so I appreciate you hopping on here and being willing to come on at short notice. This is awesome. So what's up?
Yeah. So I'm currently 6 months pregnant. How can I set boundaries with my parents when they come visit me?
Ooh, tell me about that.
So I have problems setting boundaries, and my parents have problems respecting boundaries.
Those
Yeah.
usually work together. You've learned your whole life your
Yeah.
boundaries don't mean very much. Your parents just run over them, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, 100%.
Ugh. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Is this baby number 1 or number 2?
1.
1. So in their mind, this is more their grandchild than it is your baby.
Yeah, maybe, but they also have other grandchildren.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen that you're scared is going to happen?
I think, one, they're not going to respect hygiene boundaries. So, like kissing my baby, especially when she's like 1 day old, not vaccinated and all that stuff, just coming off a plane. My dad also just doesn't have good hand hygiene.
Okay.
And then, 2, bringing in a lot of gifts, which stressed me out a lot. I'm really stressed out by even just having things on the counter. Like, I don't even have a coffee machine because having things on the counter would just stress me out, and it takes up too much mental and emotional space for me that I don't like clutter. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to have clutter with a baby.
Yeah,
obviously.
It's like a human explosion. Everything that you've kept tightly controlled will be erupted all over your living room, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Has controlling the variables, has cleanliness and structure and tidiness, has that been a way you've managed the chaos you grew up in? Parents who just didn't really give a crap what you think or feel or believe?
I think more so it developed from my mom, because my mom gets a lot of like random stuff, like stuff that she hasn't opened in years and doesn't plan to open, but refuses to get rid of it. And so I saw how all this stuff just ended up piling up, and it stressed me out. And so now I don't get anything.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll give you, I'm going to give you a couple of different ideas, okay?
Okay.
And you do with them whatever you want to. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it was basically, I don't know the title. Everyone's got these different titles. I think it was the Chief Health Officer of New York. I remember an article a few years ago, and she was asked what's the one, like, she was a parent too. And it was, what's the greatest advice you could tell a parent of a newborn, a first time? And her joke, her piece of advice was a joke, but not really. Like, in practice, it's a joke, but it had a big truth to it. She said, I would encourage every parent to go down to the subway and roll your newborn around on the subway floor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I tell you that, don't do that. Do not do that. Nobody listening to this do that. But trying to create an overly sanitized planet for your child actually robs them of a lot of the things that they can, like different sorts of things they can come in contact with, dirt and germs, etc. And that through still feeding with you, it allows their body to begin to develop strength that will last them through their entire adulthood. Okay, so I tell you that to tell you, if somebody hugs your baby, kisses your baby, and you're like, A, it's probably gonna be okay. And number 2, it doesn't matter what I say, because they're your boundaries and it's your kid. Okay?
Right.
So here's how we've handled this in my house, and how I'd recommend anybody handle this. My wife gave me a written, here's what I want to have happen when our son was being born. When my daughter was being born, she gave me another list. And now my wife's nervous, like what she does for nerves. I might go lift or go for a run or play guitar. She makes lists, okay? And so she wrote down a list of questions I was not supposed to ask. right? It ended up being hilarious, but also it's not helpful. Okay. She also sent letters to both my mom and her mom and our extended families. Here's going to be our plan. Here's when y'all can come visit. Here's some things I'm very specific about. I had one buddy who had a parent who smoked, and during labor, the parent was outside, like had a cigarette, and came in. He stepped in. Was like, nope, not holding my baby. Not after that. You got to go wash it completely up and change your shirt. And there was a little bit of an awkward pause, but that parent really respected that boundary. I was like, was getting frustrated, but went and washed up, changed shirt, and then came back. So all that to say, you get to set the boundaries, and you know as well as I do, they're going to come at a cost. Well, maybe we won't just come then. Or you're going to be in a delivery room, and you've told your parents, we want you to wash your hands. You got to wash your hands before you hold the baby. No kissing the baby. And your dad just goes in for a kiss, and you have to say, I need someone to take the baby from him, please. This man is not permitted to hold my baby right now. And that's going to be an awkward, hard conversation.
Visit?
Or your husband. Do what?
The whole visit, or just that one time, you think?
It's up to you. I don't know your dad.
Okay.
If he is somebody that you say, hey, Dad, please wash your hands before you come into the house, and he looks at you and he sticks them in the flower bed and moves them around in the dirt and then walks in. If he's that kind of guy, yeah, you might have to say, man, you've opted out of holding the kid because you're not respecting my boundaries. Oh, you're so ridiculous. I've got tons of grandkids. It'll make them tough. I don't care what you're saying. This is my baby and my boundary, period. Or if he's the kind of guy when you say, hey, will you kick your shoes off before you come in my house? And he goes, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? But then he takes his shoes off, then maybe it's just one time. Right? That's up to you.
Okay.
What do you think's going to happen?
Well, I think that my dad, he does a lot of crazy things. Like, for example, when it was the height of COVID, like, for example, we were still tracking how many COVID cases there were in each county, back in the height, like the start and the scare of everything. My brother had a baby, and my dad came to visit, and he found out later that he had COVID, and he didn't want to tell my brother. And so I told my brother. But I think that my dad is capable of, having like RSV or a cold or not feeling well and not telling me, and then, getting my baby sick.
Yeah. I think the risk of that happening is very, very, very low, of something bad happening to your baby. The bigger picture is, and you and I could probably talk for a long time about it. The bigger picture is you've grown up over the course of your life with a man who is more concerned about his pride or more concerned about not looking bad or saving face than he is about helping somebody, right? If I go visit somebody, a family, and we have dinner together, we go back to their house, we have coffee, we have a drink, we hang out, and then the next morning I have the flu, of course I'm going to call and tell them, guys, I have the flu. Everybody, like, we do this in the office. The people on the show, they're stuck in this box. Everybody texts each other, hey, I've got COVID, I got the flu. Everybody make sure you be extra vigilant. But we're not trying to save face in here. We're not trying to protect ourselves here. And so you've grown up with that your whole life. And my guess is it's happened in some bigger issues too than just that one time with COVID. You've got to make that call for yourself. But here's the thing about boundaries. You have to decide what you want this to be. And then you have to be very clear about communicating it. And you have to live with the ramifications of your boundary. And most people who want to make boundaries want to hedge on one of those three things or all three of those things. They don't want to put very clearly in writing or very clearly on the phone or in text message, here's my expectations. They just want people to read their mind. Or they don't want to have to say, okay, you got to get out. You can't be in here. And whatever. Like, so you got to do those three things. And it's important. And so take some time. If you're married, sit down with your husband and y'all map this thing out together. What do we want this experience to be like? And as a new mom, you're going to have a lot of things to be anxious about, to worry about. You drop a pacifier, you can just dust it off. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. That immune system's growing. It's strong. And more than likely, maybe be fine. Be fine. Thank you so much for the call. I wish you guys all the best. Hang on the line. I'm gonna send you a free copy as my baby gift of Building a Non-Anxious Life. That's my gift to you. I want you to read it, and that might be a good path for you and your new family to follow in creating a house that has some peace in it. And then maybe your husband can get a coffee maker on the counter. Just maybe.